I decided I'm gonna go full Matt Damon in The Martian. So, or at least I'm gonna try to, at least for a little while. I don't know how long that'll last, but I'm gonna talk to someone. May as well be my camera and just fucking, I don't know what I'll do with it. Maybe once a week I'll just upload all of the video that I take. But today's Wednesday, December 21st. And it's my 6th day in Montana. I gotta say, I love it so far. I mean, I haven't felt isolated, you know, because I don't have my friends and family out here. But I've also been very, very busy, you know, between unpacking the truck and setting up the apartment, and then the last 2 days at work have just been, you know, 10, 11, 12-hour days. Well, I guess it's only been 2 days, so the first day was 12 hours, the second day was 11. Today's probably going to be 11 or 12. So I just stay busy with work, and I'm not too worried about the feeling of isolation, because I mean, I don't mind living alone at all. I spent a lot of time yesterday thinking about Rochelle, almost kind of having an inner dialogue or an inner monologue if she were to show up here. You know, the things that I would say to her. And I guess the same way that I kind of burned bridges at the post office before leaving. You know, maybe the things that I would say to her that I didn't say before I left, you know, for fear of, you know, well, I don't want to hurt her feelings, or run the risk of her never wanting to speak to me again. But unfortunately, I didn't know that she was probably never going to speak to me again in the first place. Had I known that, then I might have on the way out the door been like, hey, here's the things that I would like to say to you. But anyways. So I love it here very much. I met my new station manager this morning, and he came up and said, did I hear that you just typed into Google, pick a city, and then this is where you ended up? And yeah, that's how it worked. So I am on my way out for another day on the same route, which is great because, you know, I'm slowly learning this one route. I shouldn't say slowly. I mean, it's only Wednesday and I've got it down pretty good. So, and the mail is light, so I suspect today will be a pretty light day, hopefully. We'll see. I found out today that I can start at 6 a.m., which is great. I mean, it's not great for sleep because it means I'm waking up at, you know, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, which I suppose I should get used to again. I do miss going to the gym. As it turns out, right outside the post office is the Montana State Women's Prison, which I thought was apropos. I could go from having a mate to having an inmate. So there's that. You know, I remember towards the beginning of, you know, we weren't even really breaking up yet, but certainly Rochelle had told me that she wanted me to work on confidence and self-esteem, which clearly, as far as I'm concerned, not two things I needed to work on. You know, not to pat myself on the back too hard, but I think it took a pretty high degree of confidence to do this, to move all the way out here with no one else and not know anyone and be totally willing to just throw myself into this fire. So, but I talked to my therapist about that, and my therapist had suggested fake it till you make it, you know, just, you know, at least pretend to be confident and have high self-esteem until it came through. And now, what I find myself having to do, as far as fake it till you make it, is I have to fake, you know, that mean, I am incredibly happy to be here. I do love it a lot. But I have to fake that I'm like completely over Rochelle. That I am just, you know, that I don't think of her. That she doesn't come across my mind. You know, I get this ring on, and I told myself that I would stop wearing it when I could go a week without thinking of Rochelle. You know, when the time came where I was like, oh, I haven't thought of her in a week, I'll stop wearing that. And I don't know if or when that'll come. I mean, it is nice to be in this beautiful city where there's no memories of her. There's no, you know, every road that I drive down, she's never been on. You know, every person that I meet has no idea who she is or what we were or what we could have been. So I gotta fake it till I make it. As far as that goes, I gotta, you know, pretend that that 3.5 years didn't matter. And it did. So as the saying goes, another day, another dollar. Just finished up day 3 at the new office. I love it even more. Totally saw it coming that I met Tabitha today, which Tabitha was a huge help in even getting the transfer, getting over here. She was really just flat out incredible. I was running into so many problems and holdups, unnecessary holdups with getting here, and she really got that ball rolling for me. And I intended to email her on Friday night and just say, hey, you know, just so you know, I just finished my first week. Thank you again for all of the help, whatever. And then I'm getting ready to punch out tonight, and there she is in the office. And she heard that I was there, so she came over to meet me in person, which was really fun and really great. But I could have guessed it. She within 5 minutes or so, she said, you got any interest in upward mobility, meaning, you know, supervisory stuff, which, you know, I think that there's a good balance, or at least I'd like to think that there's a good balance between me and supervisory staff, and that balance comes from continuing to be just a regular city carrier. You know, I deal well with management. You know, they pile work on me, and I'm fine with it. I don't mind. I like doing work. You know, and I also love being a city carrier. I love being out there on the street, having the time to myself in my head, but also being able to talk to people while I'm out there, getting to know some of the people. I've already gotten to know some of the people that are on this route that I've been covering the last 3 days. You know, all the opportunities for overtime and double time. I just don't think that if I was to be a supervisor, I would have kind of that same ability. So I kind of saw it coming anyways, but you know, in my diplomatic fashion, I was like, I'll keep an open mind to it, but right now I think I'd just like to learn the city, get to know where I'm at, you know, figure this out, you know, figure this out on my own type of thing. I mean, I'm not entirely closed off to the idea, if I'm being honest. I'm not entirely closed off to the idea of some sort of supervisory level, but I mean, you know, I've seen friends, I've had friends back in Portsmouth who do that, but then they get sent to another office in another city. And personally, I loved Portsmouth, and I couldn't imagine myself being a mail carrier in another city. And now I am, you know, less than a week into being here in Billings, Montana, and I am in love with this fucking city. I love this city. And I just can't imagine myself going to work in any of the other cities. I met one of the postmasters tonight from one of those other cities, quote unquote cities. I asked him, what's the population of that city? 8,500 people. To me, that's not a city. That barely makes it as a city. I don't even know if it barely makes it. To me, it's not a city. Like Raymond, New Hampshire is probably at least 8,500. You know, Epping, New Hampshire. Neither one of those I would consider to be cities. Portsmouth, New Hampshire, 22,000 people. That's barely a city as far as I'm concerned. You know, when I initially started looking out here, I was looking at like what are the biggest cities, and I did land in the biggest city. Billings is the biggest city in Montana, but it drops real quick when it comes to resident population. It's like Billings, Montana is like 120,000 people, and then the next closest city is, I think it's Great Falls, and Great Falls is like 60,000. So it's half the population of here, and it doesn't have, you know, I honestly don't understand it, because Tabitha was telling me tonight that, you know, it's hard to keep carriers in some of those other cities because the cost of living is too high. So, you know, the carriers don't make enough money with the post office to even live in the cities that they're delivering mail. Personally, I feel like it should be flipped. Like, I would think the cost of living here in Billings, Montana would be more expensive because it is so great as far as I'm concerned. But who the fuck am I? I guess I'm just I'm more of a person who likes having the amenities of, you know, the comforts of retail stores and shit like that nearby. But anyways, that's day 3. I got offered, you know, I got you know, approached already about moving up within the post office, and for now I'm happy where I'm at. You know, I'm on track to clear $90,000 this year. I don't think that being a supervisor would get me more money. So I'm perfectly fine with delivering mail and continuing to do things my way. So, anyways, I'll check in, you know, maybe tomorrow or the day after. See ya. Fucking 20 past 4 in the morning. I had set my alarm for like 4:45, and that was really just so that I could like have enough time to get up and get ready and go get a coffee before going to work. And instead I woke up at like 3 after 4 hours of sleep, and laid there and just thought, I'm not gonna sleep anymore tonight. I already know I'm not gonna sleep anymore tonight. So here I am. It's 20 past 4 in the morning, and I've decided to get up and go to the gym, since I haven't been to the gym in like 2 weeks, two or 3 weeks, and I've lost way too much weight for my liking. I weighed myself the other day and I was 196 pounds, which in theory is like supposed to be, you know, where I should be, but it doesn't look good on me. So I gotta get back into the disciplined habit of getting up and going to the gym every morning. So I don't know how many days in a row this will last between now and beginning of January, but at least I did it today. So here we go. I think I recorded something this morning, but you know, maybe I'll just go delete it, because I'm probably gonna say a bunch of the same shit anyways. I'm fucking tired. It is 10 a.m. I don't know why, but I woke up at 7 a.m. or no, I woke up at 3 a.m. rather. I woke up at 3 a.m. That's how fucking tired I am, is that I don't even know what time it is. I woke up at 3 a.m. I don't know why. I just woke up and I laid there for a minute and I was like, I'm not going back to sleep. It was just like last week. I mean, it was almost exactly like last week where I woke up at 3 a.m. and I was like, I can't sleep anymore. Interestingly enough, my new post office is literally right next to the Montana State Women's Prison. And I mean, I thought that it would be apropos to go from having a mate to having an inmate. You know, I could just hang out outside and wait for someone to get released, maybe. But anyways, Day's off to an okay start. After I couldn't fall back to sleep, I decided to get up and just go to the gym. Went to the gym, went to the Planet Fitness near my apartment for the first time, and not very busy. Reminds me a lot of Stratham, New Hampshire. You know, the people that were there were kind of an older crowd, mostly just kind of getting in some cardio, which is fine and good for them, to be honest. It sure makes for a nice, you know, being at the gym and not having to wait for equipment to be open. So went there, did my gym thing, then punched into work at 6 o'clock, knowing full well that I'm looking at a 12 to 14 hour day. So I've got 40 hours so far this week when I punched out last night, and I'm looking at probably another 20 to 25 to go before Friday night. So should be gonna be a fun week. It's gonna be, all of it's just gonna be a fun time with how much I'm working. The only good thing is that I do need the money. So I'm driving by someplace right now called Magic City Custom Works. It's a motorcycle place. I might have to swing in there and see what kind of work they do. I'm gonna need a new motorcycle mechanic now that I'm out here and I don't have my guy back in Portsmouth, my buddy Chris. Everyone's stopping at this railroad crossing. So anyways, check in with you later. I had to listen to some of my motivational speeches because I realized I kept talking about Rochelle and I couldn't get her out of my fucking head for the last 2 days. So I had to listen to some of my motivational speeches and remember why I'm here, channel some of my David Goggins and Eric Thomas and Joe Rogan and Jocko and all those motivational speakers that remind me of purpose and success and driving forward. So that's what I'm gonna do. Keep driving forward, remembering why I'm here, why I'm in a new state, creating a whole new life. I got a nice little card here from someone that I have only delivered to for a couple days. So I haven't opened it yet, but I'm about to, but I'm sure it's something very nice. So, all right. I look like fucking Two-Face in here because, you know, the lighting. I punch in and it's dark. I punch out and it's dark. 7:30 Thursday night. I have been told shut up more times in the last week than probably in the last year or two. Just because every time that someone says, how'd you end up here? And I tell them I Googled it and then they say, shut up. So, but it's fine because it is certainly a fun story to tell. Oh, just another day done. Another 40,000 steps. I'm exhausted. Woke up at, you know, for the third time today. I'm telling you that I woke up at 3 a.m. So I am exhausted. I know that I need to get some stuff from either Walmart or CVS or something. I have to go get some stuff. I don't know what I want to do when I get home. I don't know if I want to shower and go to bed or just crawl on the couch and fall asleep for an hour and a half. Eat something. I don't know what to do. I don't know anymore. My brain is fried. And I have never so looked forward to Christmas for the simple fact that I'll be able to get some sleep. Honestly, that might have been like the best part about moving out here in the first place, was the fact that I don't have to worry about going anywhere on Christmas, unless in the next 3 days someone out here is like, you should come over for Christmas, we're doing a whole thing, fucking something like that. I don't know. I've thought about going to the vet center to see if you know, either A, they're doing something, or B, you know, maybe I could volunteer somewhere.
But I don't know. I've only been here for a week. And it's not like I couldn't do that because I've only been here for a week. It's more like I don't know how lonely I am right now that I might want to actually go and, you know, try and make new friends. Although this girl did invite me out tonight, but she invited me out at 5 o'clock this evening. And I was still a couple hours away from punching out, so I don't fucking know. I don't know. I'll check in with you tomorrow. I'm sure that everyone's just wondering, dying to know how I slept last night, because I mentioned it so much yesterday. I slept fine. I did wake up at 2:45 this morning and looked at the time, and I was like, nope, not today. I'm going back to bed, and slept until 5 o'clock when the alarm went off. And then, of course, every time that it's time to get up is when Graphite decides that's a good time to really curl up next to me and get comfortable. Make it difficult for me to get out of bed, but who gives a shit about that? Oh, that's good to know. Licensing is right there next to the post office, so I can get my Montana license. Maybe I should swing in there and talk about that right now, actually. Anyways, you know, I was just at work, casing, putting my mail together for the day, and I know that my dad misses me. It's only been, well, it's been almost 2 weeks since I left New Hampshire. I know my dad misses me. I miss him as well. And I know that, you know, there's plenty of people who probably thought that I was going to come out here and spend a few months or whatever and then move back to New Hampshire. But I was just putting my mail together in there and thought, I don't think I'm ever leaving this place. I don't think I need the 6 months that I put on myself. I think I'm going to stay here forever. I'm that in love with it here. So, I don't know. You may never, well, I mean, I will come back to New Hampshire to visit occasionally, but you may never see me living, even in New England, much less New Hampshire, ever again. I absolutely love it here. So, that's my thoughts for right now. So I cut yesterday pretty short, just because, you know, I was leaving the post office and realized that the licensing place was right there, so I could get a new license. And I went in there, and I mean, there's a fucking line. I mean, it's the DMV. What do you want? But I mean, the line. I went in there, put in my name, and the girl said it's gonna be about 2 hours. I said, can I go out and, you know, deliver some mail or whatever, and come back? And she said, yeah, sure, I'll take your phone number and we'll send you a text when we're ready for you. And then I never got a text all day, so I'm gonna have to do that next week. But my sister called me later, and I told her, she called me like an hour or two later, I told her I was waiting on a text to get my license. She said, you know, I'm gonna harness Dad here and say, like, maybe wait a couple months and see if you actually like it. And I thought, no. I love it here. And I don't think that I don't see that changing. You know, I don't think that the people who are born and raised here and have lived here their whole lives, I don't think they really realize what they have, which is great. And maybe that's how I feel about New Hampshire, because I spent my whole life there. You know, maybe someone from here might go there and say the same thing about me. I don't know. But regardless, this is the end of my first week. I guess I started making these little recordings on Tuesday or Wednesday. And it's the end of my first week. And I love it. The post office is great. My coworkers have been a lot of fun. I've made a couple new friends. Today it's kind of raining / a little snowy. It's colder than it's been the last few days. I think that like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday were like mid-60s, or mid-50s rather, mid-high 50s. There was a day or two where it got up into the 60s. Weather was really nice. People were really happy about that. And then today it dropped out. You know, I have this Google Home device thing in my bedroom. So every morning I get up and I say, you know, I Google, what's the weather today? And because I said that, my phone just popped off. So every morning I get up and I ask that question, and I think it was this morning, or it must have been last night I asked, and it said it was going to be 35, you know, high of 35 with rain and snow, and I was like, what, did that have the right place? And sure enough it did. So it's rainy today, quite rainy, and I don't mind one bit. You know, I don't know what other carriers think of this, but for me it's just another fucking day in the post office. It doesn't, this, you know, whether it's bad weather, good weather, it's hot, it's really cold, none of it really ever seems to bother me. You know, you just, I guess you kind of take the good with the bad, you know, for all the, I mean, not to mention the fact that the last 3, 4, 5 months in New Hampshire, it's just rained and rained and rained and rained. And I guess this week they dealt with some serious flooding, so I'm kind of used to the rain. It doesn't bother me at all. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there was something else that I wanted to mention on here, but I guess not. Today is December 23rd. So, survived yet another Christmas season. Of course, for me, I got to kind of skip out on the worst week of it, which was last week. Obviously, there's lots of packages to deliver on the route that I'm on, and I'm learning a new route, and I'm learning a whole new city. Last night I got back after 12 hours out on the street, and my new supervisor was like, how long have you been here today? And I said 12 hours, and she was like, any chance you want to go out and deliver some packages? I said, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to work, so put me to work. So that's what I did. I went out and, you know, ended up working, I don't know, 13 or 14 hours yesterday. Doesn't bother me, and the money is good, and certainly need the money anyways. So I kind of ran into a problem with this particular paycheck of I didn't get paid for an entire week. I left New Hampshire thinking that they were going to pay me sick leave, 40 hours of sick leave for that week that it took to drive out here and get set up in the apartment, and instead they didn't pay me at all. So I panicked for a few minutes, really. But then I thought about it, and you know, I checked the calendar to see what the next payday is, and did the math on that, and it's all going to work out just fine. You know, I can still make rent, I can still make all my necessary payments, and even some of the things that are more, you know, leisure. You know, my Amazon and Netflix and that bullshit. So I panicked for maybe a few minutes, and then I was like, oh wait, nope, never mind, I'm fine. And I'm working my fucking ass off. So I realized last night that I'm just working so that Graphite has a really nice place to stay during the day, because he's spending 24 hours a day in that apartment, and at this point in this last week I'm lucky if I spend 8 hours a day in that apartment. I don't even think it's 8. Last night I got home at, I think, 9 o'clock. Yeah, it's about 8 hours. I got home at about 9 o'clock last night, and then the alarm clock went off at 5 o'clock this morning. So whatever, it is what it is. It doesn't bother me. The work doesn't bother me. Totally loving the city. Tomorrow's supposed to be clear and sunny, so I'm hoping to go do a little bit. I have to work tomorrow, Christmas Eve, on a Sunday, but they're telling me that we're only coming in for 4 hours. So come in at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, go out, deliver packages for 4 hours, and then go home or go do whatever people are gonna do. So I figure I'll go do just a little bit of exploring, not a lot. Last night I took a different way home, which was kind of cool. I went to the local supermarket, which was a total ghetto place, but I had no idea. I just went to, you know, the supermarket that was closest to work, and I ended up running into one of my coworkers there, this girl Chandra, and I talked to her for a few minutes while we were at the store. Then I talked to her again this morning and said, no, I won't be going back there. and she said, oh, that's the ghetto one. That's the really ghetto one. There's nicer ones. And there's three of the same brand, a store called Albertsons. There's 3 of them in the city. I guess I went to the worst one. So maybe I'll check out the other ones. Honestly, I went in there thinking I got to do some grocery shopping. You know, all that's in my refrigerator right now is non-alcoholic beer, and that's basically it. And then all that's in my pantry is like a bag of Doritos and a box of Cheez-Its. So I got to do some real shopping, some actual grocery shopping. But I also walked around this place, Albertsons, last night, and I was like, I don't even know what to get. You know, if I get a bunch of stuff, it might just go bad. So I ended up getting some stuff that I can, you know, some stuff. I got a bag of frozen chicken patties that I can put in the freezer, and like you know, cans of tuna fish that I don't need to put in the refrigerator and won't go bad for a long time. But I don't even really know what to put in the refrigerator. You know, I gotta make a legitimate shopping list, and I gotta be better about eating at home. Although tonight I might go out to dinner just because, you know, why not? So anyways, in the event that I don't make a... Alright, here we go. I'm gonna go, there's like a... I mean, they call this place like Rimrock all the time. I mean, at least I've seen Rimrock all over the place, like Rimrock Landscaping, and I joined some running group called Rimrock Runners and whatever. So it's called Rimrock because if you look around the city, I mean, the city is sitting probably 800 feet below a ridge line of some sort. So anyways, I figured that there's probably a nice little scenic view up there, and I was right. So I'm on my way up there to go check that out. Today is Christmas Eve, and I don't get shit to do, which is kind of nice. I don't have to worry about going anywhere. I don't have to worry about pleasing anyone but myself today, which is great. So I'm gonna go check out this Rimrock Scenic Overlook, and if they're still open, I'm gonna go check out Cabela's. Unfortunately, I can't wait to buy my first gun in Montana. I'm still undecided on what that gun may be. Probably a shotgun. Unfortunately, over the summer, I had some money woes and had to sell off a bunch of fucking guns. I think in the end, I ended up selling like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of my guns. So I gotta replenish the safe. I know that I want to replenish it with some handguns too. I only have a few handguns. In fact, now because of all those selling of those guns, I had to sell, I think I'm down to 3 handguns. So, and you know, my attorney back in New Hampshire had asked me like, how many guns do you really need? And I was like, all the guns, every single one of them. I understand that I only have 2 hands, but I want all the guns. So I'm gonna go to this Rimrock Overlook, and then I'm gonna go to Cabela's because there's a Cabela's in the city. There's also a bunch of gun stores too. I drove by a couple last night that I'll have to check out at some point. And then I'm gonna go home, and maybe I'll be home by like 2 o'clock. I'm gonna hang out with my cat, get the grill set up. That'll be my project for tonight, I think, is getting the grill set up. And then also I gotta talk to my sister at some point because we have to coordinate how we're gonna do some sort of video chat tomorrow. She was asking me if I have Zoom, and I was like, why don't we just use Facebook Video Messenger? Like, it's the same thing, and it's easier. You don't have to download anything or whatever. So we're gonna do that so that we can do a little video thing in the morning on Christmas Day. I'm 2 hours behind her, so I'm gonna have to wake up a little early, I think. But the good news is that I have tomorrow off, so after we're done, I can just go back to bed if I really want to. I do think that I'm gonna go go to the grocery store at some point today and get some bacon and eggs so that I can cook breakfast tomorrow. So yeah, that's been my day so far, and I guess I'll check in with you later. So, I'm doing some more emptying of the garage. And right now I'm trying to clean up the grill grates. As I'm grilling tomorrow. I'm gonna grill tonight too. Grill, for my Christmas dinner I got a couple ribeyes and some salmon. I'm gonna do like a surf and turf Christmas dinner for me. And then for tonight I got hamburgers and hot dogs. Nice and easy. Something simple for Christmas Eve. But I love it. The rim rocks were awesome. Everything that I had hoped they would be. I went to the grocery store, a better grocery. The other night I went to a grocery store and it was just garbage. I mean, it was such a ghetto grocery store. And I went to work the next day and told this girl that I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be going back there. And she was like, oh, you went to the really ghetto one. So, hi, come here, you wanna say hi? Come here. Rah. Good boy. I gotta find your nail clippers so that we can cut those nails. Mwah. Say Merry Christmas to everyone. Love you. This little guy has been so angsty, you know? He just keeps yelling at me all the time like that. But anyways, so I guess I went to the really ghetto grocery store, and then I went to a better one tonight after a little visit to Cabela's. Definitely going back. Got to buy my first Montana gun. Hoping to get my Montana driver's license this week, but we'll see. Sundown should be in another hour or so. Yeah, so in the meantime, during that hour, I got my I got 2 clocks up there, one for New Hampshire time and one for Montana time. So my sister is actually making me some stickers to go up there. So she's gonna send those out to me. One's gonna say NH, the other one's gonna say Montana. So yeah, it's been a damn good day. Cabela's was awesome, lots of guns there. Gotta get my first Montana gun. And that's it, okay. So, as you can see, I still have plenty of unpacking to do. I found one of my guns. Actually, I think it was the only one that was really missing. So, that's good. I just couldn't remember what I did with it. But, now I gotta put everything away. Still gotta put everything away. As I go through everything, I'm finding, you know, the things that Rochelle gave me while we were together. You know, little notes like, guess what, I love you. And, you know, unfortunately I can't bring it to myself to just throw those things away. So, I'll keep them for now. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with them. Which, you know, I guess could also be said for all these fucking gun parts. You know, AR-15 barrel. Bolt carrier group. Another upper. So many gun parts. I guess I don't know what to do with them, which I guess is kind of a good thing, right? You know, nice to have all this stuff that I don't know what to do with just yet. So far this is my Christmas Eve. I mean, I can throw some shit like this away, you know. Rochelle gave it to me as like, it's some, you know, veteran recovery thing, which I'm sure is great and all, but I got no interest in it. And it really bugged the shit out of me when she would say like, oh, you should go and do this thing. What is this? Recovery Mountain Sobriety Centers of New Hampshire. Like, great.
You want to fucking go do that? I don't want to do it. Go ahead. But anytime that I push back on something like that, oh, look out. It was World War III. So, well, maybe not World War III. That's probably an exaggeration. But it was still like, you know, from her perspective was, I'm telling you to go do this thing. Why aren't you doing it? Well, I don't fucking want to. That's why. But this is my Christmas Eve. I got a bunch of unpacking to do still, so I hope you guys are all enjoying your Christmas Eve. So it's Christmas. My sister was supposed to call at some point, but I don't think she's going to. My nephew is supposed to go to his dad's house at 12 o'clock, and I mean, right now it's 11:23 in New Hampshire, so I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, I can't necessarily say I really understood why it was gonna happen in the first place. What's the big deal? Why do we need to do a video call while her son is there? I don't know. But regardless, it's Christmas, and I think that I'm gonna chill out and do next to nothing all day and nowhere to be, which is nice. And I don't really have anything to do. I'm gonna cook some breakfast. I woke up at, I mean, I've been awake for well, no, I guess I haven't been. Yeah, I've been awake for about 2 hours. It's 9:30 here. So, it's just me and the cat. Right, buddy? Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm talking to the camera. So, I'm just about done with the unpacking part. I got a closet full of clothes on the floor because when I packed the moving truck, I literally just threw them all in the truck. And then when I unpacked the truck, I needed to get the truck back, so I didn't bother with any sort of organizing of clothes. So if I can go through that closet today, get all those clothes off the floor and put away, thrown away, whichever one I decide, then I think the unpacking will be done, which is nice. Yesterday I was able to get the snowmobile, the motorcycle, and the pickup truck into my garage. So it's a little tight, a little tighter than I would like. You know, if I ever have a passenger in the truck with me, they're gonna have to get out of the truck before I could park the truck in the garage. I suppose if that were ever to be the case, then I would probably just wouldn't even bother parking in the garage. I would just pull up and we would both get out of the truck outside of the garage. So, but that's pretty cool. You know, I don't have to worry about walking out of the house and my truck's covered in snow. So, that's a pretty cool thing. So, that's it. Merry Christmas. So, it was a good Christmas overall, all things considered. You know, being alone wasn't that bad. Yeah, I can't say I really missed anything. My friend Nancy came over, dropped off food, that was nice. Talked on the phone with a few different people. I've texted a bunch of different people. Too many to really count. Made myself a nice little steak and salmon dinner. Now I'm gonna do dishes real quick. And I mean, it's 7:45 here, so I'll do the dishes and probably chill out on the couch for an hour and then go to bed. Get ready to crank out some more work tomorrow. I've been watching Stranger Things. That's almost over. So, yeah. I gotta say, you know, someone texted me today. I mean, many people have texted me today. Many people have texted me, and many people have said it over the last 8 weeks. You make friends easy. I don't know who the fuck these people think they're talking to, because that's not me. Like, I don't know why all these people think that I'm, like, genuinely, like, my father, my sister, my friend Adam texted me today, my friends, you know, my friends Dustbusters back in New Hampshire, Tim, Chris, all these people are like, you make friends easy. I am the most shy person I have ever met, okay? I'm not outgoing, I don't go talk to people, I don't just randomly approach people, so I don't know who these people think they're talking to or who they think they know. The only reason they may think that I make friends easy is because I don't talk and I just listen. So, but maybe that's a positive quality, I don't know. I saw something not long ago about the positive traits of being an introvert, which is what I consider myself. And one of those positive traits was that you're a good listener, which people have told me I'm a good listener. Because I will just sit back and shut up and not listen, not talk while you're trying to talk to me and tell me whatever story it is you're telling me. So, I don't know. But again, it's only been just barely over a week. So, we'll see how good I make friends. I would like to think that I'm going to make a lot of friends here. And I honestly don't think I'm wrong. I think that I am going to make a lot of friends here. I think that I think this is home. I think this is where I belong. Yeah. So, anyways, Merry Christmas. So I think the lesson that I learned yesterday was that I'm not really much of a drinker anymore. I wouldn't say that I'm all done drinking permanently, but I'm gonna stick to the non-alcoholic beers and the occasional sip of bourbon, you know, just a tiny little bit. Yesterday I woke up, I did. I had 3 mimosas yesterday morning, and then, you know, a glass of bourbon later, and some Jack and Coke, and some Coors Light, and you know, the Coors Light just doesn't even taste the same anymore. I don't know, maybe that, maybe I don't know. I know that I liked it while I was with Rochelle, but it just doesn't taste the same. So, yeah, I think that, you know, I don't, and the other thing was that I got up this morning and I feel like shit. I have felt like shit all morning, so, and I probably drank, like, a day where I would, like, go hard when me and Rochelle were together, or even prior to that. You know, if I had a day off and I was just gonna hang out at home all day, like I did yesterday, I probably drank, I don't even know if I drank half as much as I used to, and I felt pretty, probably beyond buzzed, maybe even beyond driving. I mean, I almost felt bad. My dad called me, and my friend John called me, and on the phone with them, I was like, they have to know that I've been drinking. So, yeah, I think those days might be past me. I'm gonna stick to the non-alcoholics. They're a little more expensive, but fuck it, whatever. I mean, it's like 20 bucks for a 30 pack of Coors Light, and it's probably 13, 26. I mean, it's $26 for 24 of the Bud Zeros. So it's a little more expensive to do the non-alcoholics, but in the end, it's worth it. I don't want to put all that weight back on, all that drinking weight back on, and I don't want to feel like shit every fucking morning. So, yeah, I think those days are beyond me. But we'll see. I mean, you guys can hold me to account in a month or two and be like, hey, remember when you said that? So, we'll see. Not a bad day. It's actually 10 minutes to 7 right now. And, I've been home for a couple hours. I didn't record anything this morning because I just didn't think of it. I've been home for a couple hours now. Nice light work day, and I think that I'm gonna, there's a store out here called Scheels or Skeels. I can't really, it's Scheels. I legit thought it was a casino because it's so brightly lit. So, and then when I was out with a friend the other night, I asked, what is this place? Is this a casino? And she told me that it's like a big fucking hunting and shooting and, you know, it's like Cabela's type of thing. So it's practically right next door to my house, my apartment. So I'm gonna go and check it out. I don't think I'm gonna buy anything tonight, although I did see a shotgun at Cabela's the other day that I really liked. So I might end up going to buy that at some point, not today. But I kind of depleted my firearm collection in my move out here. You know, over the summer, between some money woes over the summer and then some more money woes over the fall of, you know, having to come up with all the money to make this move, I had to, I basically had to dwindle my safe down to what are the guns that I really, really like and really want to keep. I think I got rid of at least 2 handguns that I really liked, but I really didn't shoot them very much. So, you know, obviously I kept the .45 that my dad gave me for my birthday many, many years ago. And I kept the VP9 that I just bought over the summer, which I love. But I had to get rid of like my P30 and my P30 SK. So I'm gonna have to rebuy those among some other guns. I expect over the next 6 months to buy a lot of guns. And I went and got my Montana driver's license today now. So now I have a driver's license that matches my address. So I can buy guns. So that's what I'm up to for the night. I'm gonna go check out a gun store, and then I think maybe we get something to eat, and then I gotta get something for the shithead in here to keep him from scratching my couch to shit. See ya. So my sister got me this great Ninja Foodie thing for Christmas. She actually sent it to my work, like sent it along with my dad, and you know, it was all wrapped and everything, and said don't open it until Christmas. And then Christmas Day came and we were supposed to do a video call, and then we didn't end up doing that video call. So we ended up talking the other day, and she said, oh, you were supposed to open that on Christmas, you know, so that you'd have something to open on Christmas. But I mean, I didn't want to open it without, you know, her being kind of there to see me open it, you know. So we did a video call, and I opened it. I was psyched about it. I needed a crock pot, and this does a bunch of different stuff. It's an air fryer, it's a crock pot, it's a pressure cooker, and it can sear and saute. So we had said that we're gonna do some cooking together, like we'll pick a meal sort of thing, because she has the same thing at her house. So we're gonna pick a meal once a month, and you know, we'll set aside a day to cook that meal together, which is cool. But one of my favorite meals that Rochelle introduced me to is chicken gizzards. And so I'm trying my hand at that now. That's what I'm doing right now, is trimming the connective tissue off of these chicken gizzards. And I know chicken gizzards sounds terrible. Not something that I would have thought I would have liked, but as it turns out, it's, well, at least when she made it, it was really, really good. So, of course, I didn't realize just how fucking tedious it is to trim this connective tissue. And I thought about just skipping that step, but something tells me that's probably not the right way to do it. So I also realized the other day a little flaw in this system of mine of, you know, just hitting record on my GoPro and ultimately I'll splice all these recordings together and do something. I don't know, put it all on YouTube, I'm not sure. But, I mean, I've made like probably 15 or 16 videos at this point, and at the end of every one of them I've said, okay, bye. So, spliced together, there'll be an hour of like 2-minute videos of me just, and at the end of every 2 minutes you're gonna hear me say, okay, bye. But whatever. So right now, I'm gonna take that GoPro, I'm gonna set it on a time lapse to get the rest of me trimming this connective tissue. I am certain that I'm either not doing it right or I'm just not doing it good. But it's only me eating, so who cares? Hope you all had a great new year. Today's January 1st as I record this. It's been a few days since I checked in. I was supposed to go out last night, and then I kind of fell asleep on the couch, and by the time I woke up I was like, I don't really fucking feel like going anywhere. I don't want to be out with all these yahoos out on the roads, risking anything happening to me too, you know. I don't want to run any risk of, you know, I'm not doing a lot of drinking. You know, actually right now I'm having one of my Bud Zeros. I'm not doing a lot of drinking, which is probably surprising to a few people. You know, I don't know. It's just not something that really does anything for me right now. Particularly, you know, just being at home and doing that by myself. No real interest in doing that. I am enjoying my solo time here. I got a lot to do still. If I ever finish disconnecting all this connective tissue, I have to get out to the garage and organize that a little bit better. Although I am psyched that the motorcycle, snowmobile, and my truck all fit in there, which is nice. I don't really care if my truck is outside. I mean, it's been outside for the 3 and almost 4 years that I've had it. It's been, you know, an outdoor truck. You know, when I lived with Rochelle, we didn't have a garage. You know, when I lived with my dad, we didn't have a garage. When I lived with Katie, we didn't have a garage. So I've never had a garage. So it's not something that you know, the only reason I wanted an apartment that had a garage was then I don't have to pay for storage, which is great. You know, not having to find a storage unit here in Montana was definitely a plus. So, but I have been certainly enjoying my time here. Work has been good, and today is New Year's Day, so I actually have the day off, which is great. The only thing that sucks is that with this new position of mine, I'm not getting paid for it. You know, I always like a nice paid day off, but I'm making pretty good money, so I guess that's not a big deal. But coworkers have been cool. Sunsets have been amazing. I just saw on the news that New Hampshire is all, you know, not all of New Hampshire, obviously. There's plenty of people that don't care, but there's a bunch of people in New Hampshire all excited because there's going to be a total solar eclipse in April, first since 1959. And I knew as soon as I saw that New Hampshire was getting that, there's no way that we were here in Montana. And sure enough, I mean, we're way outside the path of the total solar eclipse. And I don't really care because I get to see the actual sun. I mean, who really cares if there's a total solar eclipse? Big deal. But hey, if people are excited about it, then fine. All right, I gotta get to work on these, so. Well, the chicken gizzards came out pretty good. I guess I trimmed them correctly. They sure tasted good. The recipe could have used a little tweaking for next time. But ultimately, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, 2 pounds of chicken gizzards were like fucking $2, I think. Maybe 3. But they came out good, and I got my garage all organized and kind of basically finished all of the unpacking. I mean, it was basically finished anyways. Like, I could have lived just fine the way that everything was, but now I've got everything that needs to be inside, or at least not taking up space in the garage. I got everything kind of put away, and now I can kind of focus on other things, like, you know, the things that I want. Like, I need rugs for sure. Like, the place is so echoey because it's all wood. You know, the floor is all wood, so it's just very echoey in there. I need a decent size, like 12 by 12 or 14 by 14 rug to put in the living room, at least. And I'm undecided on a dining room table. I should get something better than what I have as far as eating on, because right now I just have like a folding, I don't even know what to call it, a folding table type of thing, and it's very small, but it works for me, so who gives a shit. I don't want a ton of space taken up. Like, I do like how wide open the entire apartment is, especially in the living room area. And for now, it's just me in there, me and Graphite. So, I mean, is it really for right now, it's not a big deal. But I was thinking the other day, like, okay, what if I had 2 or 3 people over and we wanted to watch a movie? Like, well, my couch is not gonna be good for that, and I'd feel like such a fucking dork if I pulled out my camping chairs to sit in to watch anything. So there's some things that I gotta think about and rearrange, but overall I'm very happy with the apartment as it is, and I'm not going to be living with anyone anytime soon. So just saw someone with a snowmobile in the back of their truck. I looked up, I downloaded this app called OnX. It was highly suggested as the app to go to find the trails. It's very surprising to me how few snowmobile trails there are in this state when I compare it against Maine. You know, look at the size of Montana. It is massive. I mean, you could probably fit 5 New Hampshires in this state, or more. I mean, it is such a huge state, and the entire northwest section of the state, no trails. Or northeast section of the state, no snowmobile trails. I mean, it could be Native American Indian reservation land, so that's why. I also saw the other day that, like, it's commonly referred to as Montana's high desert, so maybe they just don't get snow up there. I don't really know. But regardless, you know, the snowmobile trails here are so different than Maine, because there are groomed trails and there's plenty of like mountain region you can get to if you want to, you know, do mountain backcountry snowmobiling. But it's not like Maine, where basically all of Maine, all of the snowmobile trails are connected. You know, the ATV trails in Maine are not like that. Like in Maine, the ATV trails, you know, there's a bunch that aren't connected. But with the snowmobile trails, like, you could ride from, I think you could probably ride from the south end of the state all the way to the furthest northeast point and never leave trails, you know, never have to, you know, put your snowmobile on a trailer to go to the next system. Versus out here, it certainly looks like there's a lot of snowmobile trail, but there's just like, you can spend a day in this area and then you can
snow, you know, then you can put it on a trailer and you can go spend a day in this area. So it's very different, but they do claim to have over 4,000 miles of snowmobile trail in the state, groomed snowmobile trail in the state. So, you know, that's plenty of snowmobiling. I mean, I've yet to break 1,000 miles in one entire season, so I don't know if I'll be able to, you know, I'll be able to check out all of these different trails, but I'm excited to check them out. Just need some snow, and it's not like I'm here in Montana going, boy, I need snow, and they got all this snow back in New England. They haven't gotten any there either. I don't think the snowmobile trails are open in Rangeley yet. Could be wrong about that. Today's January 2nd, so I could be wrong about that, but I don't think they are. They might, at this rate though, there's a good chance that they'll be open before Montana is. So, just waiting on that. And other than that, back to work. Another day. I checked my pay stub this morning because tomorrow's payday. Checked my pay stub and my math was off, and I was like, that's weird. Like, my math is never off, especially when it comes to what I'm getting paid. And I'm looking at it going, where did I fuck up here? And realized that Montana has state income tax, which I did not know. So that made up for a $200 loss on my pay period, but whatever. I'm in an awesome fucking state with great fucking people. If the cost is that I now have to get used to paying a state income tax, but there's still no sales tax, there's still all the gun rights that I love, there's still snowmobiling, I'm in a new area with these beautiful views, all these great things that I've talked about already. If that's the cost, oh well, I'm not particularly hurt by that. You know, that doesn't upset me. So other than that, I hope everyone has a great week, and I'm gonna try and get away from the whole okay bye thing, so, you know, at the end of a 2-minute video. So last night I signed up for my first marathon. I don't know if that was a good idea or not, but gonna find out. It's in May. The marathon's in May 19th. I have barely been running. You know, I've just been so fucking busy in the first place, and new area, so I'm kind of unfamiliar with, you know, what are the good tracks. You know, back in Portsmouth, I had a handful of good places to run. I could do 3 miles, 6 miles, 9 miles, you know, 13, 16 miles, you know, however much I wanted to, because I knew the area so well. Out here, I don't actually know the area real well. I was telling someone last night, I haven't even been outside the city. I've been here for 3 weeks now, I think it's been 3 weeks. I got here on December 14th, so yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I've been here for 3 weeks today, and haven't even been outside the city, which is fine. Like, in theory, I don't need to go outside the city to learn a good running track. I mean, the city's plenty big enough for me to figure it out. So, but I'm gonna have to start training for that. Everyone here keeps telling me how it's a very mild winter so far. In theory, that's fine too. You know, the weather's nice, but personally, I would like some snow so I can go snowmobiling. But even that doesn't really matter, because to go snowmobiling, I'm either gonna have to find a friend who has space on their trailer for me to put my snowmobile, or I'm gonna have to rent a trailer from U-Haul, which sucks because those U-Haul trailers, I mean, they're so goddamn heavy. So, you know, it takes my gas mileage from 16, 17 miles a gallon down to like 10. So I don't like renting those if I can avoid it. There's a platform, there's a deck, a single place deck that fits in the back of my truck that I want to get, but it's like $3 grand. So, and with everything, just fucking everything that keeps coming up financially, I can't get a goddamn foot in the ground, you know? I mean, all my bills are paid, which is great, but I can't, like, next week I gotta go down to Texas, so
you know, that's going to cost, you know, probably anywhere from $500 to $1,000. I mean, I'm kind of planning on $1,000. I figure I'm going to have to fill my tank on the truck 11 times in total, 10 to get there and once when I get back. So, and I also don't even know if I'm going to end up getting paid. I have the hours for sick leave, and I asked my supervisor this morning if it would be possible to put me in for sick leave for those 4 days that I'm going to be gone. But I have no idea. You know, he also doesn't know. He was like, you know, I can try, but I'm not sure if that'll work. And I also don't even know if I get vacation time with this position that I took. As a regular back in New Hampshire, at the beginning of each year, you get front-loaded like 5 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks of annual vacation time. You get it all up front, and then basically you work through the year and you earn it. You know, you earn vacation time as you go through the year. So I mean, in theory, you could use up all of your vacation time in January and February, but then you'd have a negative balance that you have to then recover by working through the rest of the year. So, but with this new position that I have, my new union president wasn't even sure if I get front-loaded all of that vacation time. I mean, it'd be, you know, I hope to make, you know, to go back to being a regular carrier in the next month or two, and then I'll get all of that vacation time front-loaded back to me, which is fine, but it doesn't help me next week. So there's just so much like financial stress right now, which I think that I'm dealing with just fine, because, you know, I'm working, like I said, bills are paid, so, you know, if I have to live on ramen noodles for a week or two, what do I care? You know, at the end of the day, really, what do I care? I'm not, you know, back in New Hampshire making, you know, $100 meal for two, or going out every night. I mean, that is something that I kind of need to avoid, which I haven't been going out much as it is, you know, but probably once or twice a week since I got here, maybe even, there might have been a week where there was 3 times that I've gone out, but it's so much cheaper when you're by yourself. I mean, every time Rochelle and I went out, it was, you know, $100. You know, a couple beers each, an appetizer or 2 or 3, and then, you know, some sort of, you know, meal, you know, burger or steak or whatever. It was $100 every time. And I've gone out, the couple times that I've gone out, I get the bill and I'm like, they must have messed up, you know. I had, you know, 2 beers and a steak, and it was $25. So I don't know. I'll figure it all out. I'm not worried about it. I'm certainly not stressing about it. But anyways, that's what's up with me for today. I don't know how well the old GoPro will be able to really capture the image, but I'll try. Off in the distance there, you might be able to see the rim rocks on the edge of the city, and there's a highway back there too. And I will never forget driving into this city, like, you know, when my GPS said that I was down to, I don't know, probably 15 or 20 minutes from arriving at my apartment, and coming down that highway and into this city and just being like, holy shit. It's just awe-inspiring is the best way to put it, I think. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. And in this compilation of 2-minute videos, or however long this ends up being, I bet I've said this a million times, just how incredible this place is. And I'm very much looking forward to getting out of the city and checking out more of the state. And other states too, because I'm not far from Wyoming, and Mount Rushmore is a 12-hour drive, or no, it's a 6-hour drive to Mount Rushmore. So I know that, or at least I think, in my opinion, Mount Rushmore is probably more of a tourist trap type of thing. But I don't care. I've never been, and it's only 6 hours away, and this is kind of, you know, while I'm living here, this is kind of my opportunity to do it. So why not? And last night, I mean, speaking of, like, you know, why not? But last night I looked up flights to Sydney, Australia, because I was thinking, you know, where would I go? I got my passport a year ago. I haven't used it. Where do I want to go? Like, where do I really want to go? And I'd like to go to Australia. I mean, there's a bunch of countries outside of America that I'd like to visit, like even Mexico. But I think at the top of the list for me is probably Australia. I don't know why. It just seems interesting. And I was like, you know, I mean, the flights are fucking expensive. The flight there is, the round trip flight is $1,200. Which is funny because a round trip from the airport here in Billings, round trip to Sydney, Australia is $1,200. From here in Billings to Dallas, Texas is $1,000. So I don't get it. The only thing that sucks with the flight from here to Australia is that it leaves out of Billings, then it lands in Denver, then it lands in Los Angeles, then it goes to Australia. So it's like a 23 or 24 hour day of just flying. So that part kind of sucks, but whatever, who cares? I mean, I really did pick the most remote spot I could have chosen. I was talking to my sister the other day, and I mean, Billings Airport is a international airport, and yet it's fucking next to impossible to get here. There's no like one-way flights from Boston or anything. So, but I don't mind it that way. I don't necessarily need visitors, especially at this point right now in my life. Like, I am quite happy just being able to work and not worry about who and when I'm going to see people. So, you know, I text with plenty of people and talk on the phone with plenty of people, and being able to just focus on working and going home and doing the things that I want to do, being able to focus on that stuff is fine by me for the time. I'll let you know if that changes. Today seems like a good day to put all this 2-minute videos and stuff together and post it in some way that people might want to watch or listen to. I got this coffee maker. I can never figure out how to make it work. Just went for my first run outside, my first outdoor run out of my apartment. It was a good run. It was 4 miles. I signed up for, I think I mentioned already, I signed up for the marathon, so time to start getting ready for that, I guess. Anyways, today's Sunday. I'm supposed to do cooking with my sister later. I'm willing to bet that's not gonna happen. I'm willing to bet that she's probably gonna call it, because we were supposed to do it yesterday, and I was like, I'm not gonna be home until probably 8 o'clock your time, and as it was, I didn't get home until 7 o'clock her time. So, or 9 o'clock her time. So we decided that we were gonna do it tonight, and it is now 1 p.m. back in New Hampshire. It's almost 1:30, and I haven't heard from her. So I will be surprised if I'm gonna message her as soon as I'm done making this little video. I'm gonna message her and be like, hey, what time do you wanna do dinner? I have to write, I have to do journaling, I have to write, you know, some sort of, I don't know if I should call it, I guess, statement? Yeah, victim impact statement for this hearing that I gotta go to in a couple days. So that's where my day is at. It's my first Sunday off in months, and it's the first Sunday that has actually felt like a day off where I can do the things that I want to do. But I had a list of things that I want to do, and I figured I should go about that list doing what I want to do the least to start, which was go for a run. What I really want to do today is just sit on the couch and like play video games or watch movies or something. But in order to get to that point, I have to do a bunch of other shit. So the first thing that I had to do was go for a run, because I didn't want to do that. I don't want to write this statement, so that's the next thing on the list. I don't really want to journal, so that's the next thing on the list. And I'll keep working down this list of things to do until I get to sit on the couch and do nothing, which I don't even know if I'm going to get to that point on the list. So I hope you all had a wonderful Sunday. And since this will be the last videos before I upload all of these spliced together, I get to say, okay, bye. So I'll keep doing these because I like them and I don't really give a fuck what anyone else thinks. Bye.